All right, great. Welcome, everyone. So who wants to volunteer to lead us in prayers?
Okay, I'm here. Let me
Yes,
volunteer to
please go ahead.
Okay, Father, we give you praise. We lift up your name, Jesus. We thank you for yet another opportunity to gather. We thank you for this wealth of knowledge you have brought to us. We thank you for this knowledge sharing. We ask that as we gather to share knowledge, it will improve not only us, but our organizations and our society to the glory of your holy name in the mighty name of Jesus. Bless us, O Lord, and help our networks to work well so that we get the most of this training today. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Very quickly, I'm just going to run through the schedule of what we are to do today. Very quickly. So we've just said our opening prayers. And as we keep on with other activities, we'll still be looking at the attendance. And from time to time, I'll just project the attendance so that we can know how many people have filled the form. In the meantime, while we are filling the attendance, I would invite our chairperson, Dr. Ambassador Dr. Eris Jewo Ibi, to give us a recap of the day, after which we can then make it a little bit more interactive where participants can share what they learned. And then we can then take it off from there. So we have between now and 1:40 p.m. to do that. Also, at the same time, when the attendance is going on, I'll still post the link to the pre-test again for those who have not filled it before. But if you have filled it yesterday, there's no need to fill it again today. But it's just in case someone is joining us today who was unable to fill the form yesterday or who could not join yesterday but is with us here today. I hope that's clear.
Very clear, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. So I'd like to invite our chairperson to the stage to take up the mic. I saw her a while ago. Hope she's still here. Yes. Welcome, madam.
Thank you.
All right,
Mr. Daniel, how can you come to come and give anyway together on today's meeting? So Daniel, thank you for calling me to do the recap, but I want to say yesterday, I'll just start it. Then I'll call for volunteers to make their inputs until we will get what we did yesterday right. So once again, I welcome everyone. And then that yesterday, we started with self-introduction. We had a privilege because then we had time. So we did self-introduction. Then I brought the opening remarks, and then I talked about what the association is. And I said the association's vision is to be in every community. And this training is part of attaining the vision of the association so that we can have persons from across Nigeria responding or sharing information on SGBV at every given time. So I talked about that. Then after that, Mr. Daniel still shared the pre-test. Then we all took the pre-test, but I later learned some people couldn't do. So maybe I will plead with Mr. Daniel today to start today's session with a pre-test for those that couldn't do yesterday. Then after the pre-test, we then continued. We then started the real training by Dr. Beatrice. And during the training, one exciting thing for me is when we had the role play, when somebody had to be the victim, somebody had to be the perpetrator, and it was a very nice activity. And we learned so many things about the 2 steps of responding to SGBV cases. So I will stop there so that if definitely somebody else will remember something that took place yesterday to add to it, since we still have about 2 minutes for this recap. So Mr. Daniel, I hope I did well.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. You just laid the foundation for us. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. So I asked a question in the group yesterday if there were people that learned anything and are willing to share. So I'll just go back to that conversation to see those who indicated that they would like to share and see if any of them is in the group with us right now. So I think I have Olawumi. Okay, madam, you've already shared. SA Girl Child, Mrs. A, Zaga. Sorry, your numbers are not saved, so I'm just calling from your name on the WhatsApp. So Vera, Sarah, I think I saw Sarah a while ago. Is she still here? Would you like to share with us? I'm
here.
Okay, great. So just share with us very quickly what you learned yesterday.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So yesterday I learned about the 6 steps of case management. Case management. The first is the introduction, and we dwell so much on the introduction and the engagement. I think that's the only thing we did yesterday. And in the introduction process, that we must greet you.
Sorry, I'm unable to
I
hear
think I'm
Sarah.
able to hear you. Oh, I thought I was the only one. I was imagining. I think probably the internet connectivity
Please,
affected.
can I be heard?
Yes,
yes,
we can
there
hear
you
you
are.
now. We wondered where you went for a moment.
Oh, so sorry, please. Okay, like as I was saying that yesterday I learned so much. We learned about the introduction and engagement. Introduction and engagement, the first step of case management process that was dwelled on. And in that introduction, I learned that the first thing is to greet the survivor. You greet the survivor, you make the survivor comfortable, you build a rapport, meaning good relationship, you create it with the survivor so that the survivor will be free to talk to you about
Okay.
his or her experience. Then also, we should explain the process, because in the role play of yesterday, I acted as a case worker. The point that we pointed out for me, I also took note of them. That the client information. After greeting, the client information should be key. Number one, I should take the information, the name, the age, to know if it's a minor or is someone that can give consent. So that, and also we should explain survival rights. Everybody have rights. We should tell them about human rights. Then we should ask survivor questions, tell them different process, if it's legal, this, let them know. Then for case of rape, you must assess if there are injuries, things that need immediate medical attention, those stuff. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask the next question. How did what you learned contrast with how you have been doing things? But I think you answered that briefly as you were speaking. So the next person, I am in the Freke. Are you around? Would you like to share with us? Okay, Madam Brogoma, are you interested in sharing? Okay, I'll mute you now. Then Priye, are you interested? Are you available to share? Then we have Uche Uwani Eliwe, and Dr. Ngozi. So if any of them are available, they can just quickly share with us what they learned. And then if you are also in the group and you'd like to share, just signify by raising your hand so that I can know. And as we can see from the screen, we have just 15 responses on the attendance. Let's please do well to fill in the attendance. We are currently about 48 participants in the group right now. So we have only 16 responses on the
Please,
attendance.
how do we fill the attendance? How do we fill it?
You just click the link that I shared. This link, let me share it again. You just click the link and just answer the questions. You can also do that while you are here with us. I just shared it again in the chat.
Okay, I've seen it. I've clicked on it.
Okay. Also, we also need to follow up with the pre-tests. I'm sharing the link again for the pre-test. And after a while, I will also show that screen so that we can know how many persons have responded to that. All right, thank you, thank you. Who wants to share with us again?
Sorry, hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
The attendance, I've not seen the link.
Okay, so can you see the chat in this on the Zoom? So if you can see the chat feature on Zoom. And I'm sure that if you look at your phone, you'll see all the notifications of all the messages coming in. So I just posted it again in the chat. Okay, so
Hello.
yes, please, I can hear you. Okay, Queen Esther, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to appreciate the training for yesterday. It was such an amazing session. Personally, have been participating in and all of that. But yesterday's one was eye-opening. I would say it addressed the technical aspect of my knowledge. When I took the pre-test, I saw that I scored 70%. And 3 of the questions that I missed were quite technical. That's with specific reference to the stages or the steps. You know, before this training, I never knew that responses could be or should be structured, you know. And I work with learners, like I introduced myself yesterday. I'm an educationist. So I work with young people, you know, teenagers, undergraduates. I get to hear a lot of, you know, cases as their principal. So I try to see how I can manage such situations. Some of them, their parents don't even know about it. So that when in handling them, we don't end up destroying the children or creating problems greater than what is already on ground. So, but yesterday's class was an eye-opener. Thank you, the facilitator yesterday. I was able to, you know, learn how to better structure my responses, what to do, the assessment phase, you know, referrals and all of those. So it was not a time wasted for me. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for participating. Nchari Runke, I saw your hand a while ago. Are you still interested in sharing?
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Okay. The training of yesterday was impactful. I gained a lot. Okay, and I was made to understand that what I actually learned is that when when do we obtain informed consent? So I was actually able to like gain one or two things that we need to listen to the survivor story and gather a lot of information from them, as well as how to obtain informed consent, the 5 steps and all that. Thank you. Over.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Habakkuk, your hand is up. Dr. Okay, may I see you?
Okay. Uh, Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me? Good
Yes, we
afternoon.
can hear you clearly. Please go ahead.
Yes. Yesterday was a great eye-opening for me in the training. In fact, those 6 steps, I was thinking to even 10 steps. I said one of them majorly critical is 6. So when the facilitator began to explain, I began to see the reasons why it was so. And then much more, the aspect of the scenario or the role play was very, very, very informative and educative as well. Especially the aspect of the case manager, what is supposed to do. There are some things that we thought we are doing correctly, but from the feedback gotten from all participants, observations has really enlightened one the more. So it's a very wonderful learning yesterday to me. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like to ask a question though. And I think that is one thing that I couldn't place with what you said. Now, what is the one thing that you were practicing differently that from what you've learned yesterday, you identify the error in it? And what is that thing that you change within your own approach to your organization?
Structure is one of the key things. Structure is very key. When we have the foundation faulty, we never get it right at all. So setting the structure is key to me in doing this case management of this JB.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing.
Yes,
and
sir.
thanks everyone who is sharing. While we are interacting and sharing together, I'm glad that about 40 participants have filled the attendance, 41 now. However, we're about 56 on this call at the moment. So let's please, I'm sharing the link again so that we can fill the attendance form. Thank you so much. Dr. Ukeme, please, you have the floor.
Good morning from here.
Good morning.
First of all, I want to thank all of you, this coalition, for sponsoring this critical workshop training. I admittedly am on the ground floor of this epidemic that's occurring. I'm on the ground floor in terms of learning. I'm the chair of Queen Mother's Empowerment Foundation in Nigeria, but I've only come to be aware recently of the epidemic that's occurring amongst our people and amongst Nigeria, in short. And in fact, amongst the world, actually, because we have the same issues here in the US. But from what I learned yesterday so far to what I will be learning today is the management style is different. From here, it's mostly, from what I see, is the police. The police lead the way in terms of seeking for justice before seeking for, how would I say that? The well-being of the victim is more of a police state. Justice first, but then the well-being of the victim second. So I'm very, very happy and honored to learn this process of making sure that the victim, which is the most important part of this conversation, is taken care of first. During the steps, I was not aware of the steps, especially the informed consent part. That was very interesting, that before you can continue the engagement of the victim, you have to get the informed consent so that anything that goes on afterwards will be legitimate in terms of the write-up that has to take place. So I hope I explained that okay. But I'm very, very honored to be here. Thank you so much for making this possible for all of us to participate in this conversation. This critical conversation is truly needed. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad about the diversity we have from different regions and perspective from different regions. So it helps us to be exposed to what is happening and then the best practices to help the victims who have reported these cases. All right, so I'm just looking to see if there's anyone who is also interested in sharing something that they learned yesterday. And while we wait, I would just like someone to, Dr. Okeme touched a little bit on that, to just share with us why they think informed consent is important and why it is necessary to have that informed consent before you begin to hear the survivor story. Yes, Samson Kalio, please go ahead.
Okay, good day, everybody. Mine is a quick question. I don't know if it was covered yesterday. I had network issues.
So if
My
it's a question
is,
I think you will just have to write it down at
no,
the end
with
of the
respect
session
to
today.
yesterday's session. Is that okay? With respect to yesterday's session.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, yesterday, with respect to yesterday, is it in the event that a survivor is not up to 18, and then we need a consent from the parents or maybe the guardian or the caretaker, as the case may be, but the guardian or the parents are not coming forth, but the survivor is willing to, or is urging and is asking that the case be taken up and probably taken care of and maybe investigated. In that instance, what do we do?
Exactly why I said you should wait until after the session today. You have just thrown a bomb at me and I don't know how to address it. All right, so I'm going to note the question now. Our trainer is in the group at the moment, and she's listening in, so she would be in a better position to offer a solution to that. But yesterday, she did mention that for those who are below the years of legal age of consent, there is the assent, all right, and there's also the aspect of the guardianship too. So I do feel like when she comes on board, she'll be able to provide a better way to navigate that. Because if the guardians are not interested in pursuing the case and the minor wants it to be pursued, I think there's a little bit of conflict of interest there. And I think we need professionals in the field to be able to, such as our trainer here, to be able to shed more light on that. So just let's keep that in the parking lot, as you would always say. I hope that's fair.
That's okay. Mr. Daniel, can I come in a little?
Oh, yes, you are here too. Please go ahead.
If it's a minor, the state has full control. Whether the parent says or not, the state has to, because at that age, the person is a child. So the state has a say. So the fact that the minor says, I don't want prosecution, it doesn't mean that the perpetrator will just go free. No, the state can take over. So, but later when our facilitator comes, she will throw more light.
Thank you so much, Mother. Thank you. So we have 47 persons.
And please, Mr. Daniel, let me just use this opportunity to chip in something.
Yes, we will.
So you know that in our flyer, we had said yesterday will be 1 to 3, today will be 1 to 3 p.m., and tomorrow will also be 1 to 3 p.m. But I want to quickly use this opportunity to take a permission that tomorrow we will not be starting by 1 because of a field activity that our researcher, that our facilitator is engaged in, and she has to go to community for that research, for her data collection. So she will not be available. So because of that, this class will start tomorrow by the grace of God, 4 to 6. So the association wants to apologize and regret, any inconvenience that the time change will cause anybody, please. So tomorrow's session will be 4 to 6, not 1 to 3, please. Thank you.
Thank you, for clarifying that. And I hope that we all understood what was said. All right, so someone asked a question and is asking that she missed yesterday's class and if it's possible to get the audio recording. Yes, it's possible to get a recording, and later today or tomorrow, the recordings will become available for us. Most especially for those who are paid for the training, I think. So while we wait for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I just want to get feedback on this attendance form. Some persons are complaining that they are unable to fill the form. What seems to be the problem? You can unmute and speak, please. Abuye Grace, you did mention that the form is not opening. Probably it could be your internet network.
When I click on it, it was saying the site is not available. That the site is not available.
Okay.
Yes,
but we have about 48 persons who have already filled the form already. So maybe you should try again.
okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So today we'll be looking at step 2 and 3 of the steps in GBV management. And who even remembered what step 2 and step 3 is? Okay, who remembers what step 1 is? I think we should just start from there. We've been talking a lot about step 1 today. So what is step 1? Yes, Bande Sedu, please go ahead.
Step 1 is introduction, sir. Introduction and engagement.
Introduction and engagement. Great, great. Thank you. Step 2. Who remembers?
Assessment.
Assessment. Is she correct?
It's introduction and engagement, which has like 10 points that we discuss under it.
Okay. All right. So very shortly, we'll be seeing that again.
We have introduction and engagement, assessment, case action plan.
Someone aspired. You aspired your jotter. You aspired your screenshot.
Awesome.
All right, great, great. Someone is saying she can't also fill the pre-test form. This is the link. Thanks everyone for sharing. Let me just go up this in a moment so that I'll just share this again. So
very easy.
So I think I have the steps on the screen at the moment so that we don't have to rack our brains about it. All right, so introduction, assessment, case action planning, action plan implementation, case follow-up, and then case closure. I think those are the basic steps, the 6 steps. Today, we're going to be focusing on the steps of assessment and then case planning. And I'm hoping that we are excited about it. Just like we learned various new concepts in introduction and engagement, concepts like consent forms, concepts like introducing the organization properly and the services that the organization offers, and creating that initial rapport between the organization and the survivor, or the individual caseworker and the survivor, to ensure that the survivor is a bit relaxed and knows the details of what the company, what the caseworker and the organization is about, and the services they can offer. So I think that was a very, very interesting session, especially when we began to talk about the consent, acknowledging or receiving consent from the survivor. And then we also clarified that the consent is not just at the initial stage where you want to begin to listen to the case, to the survivor's case. It goes beyond that. So every step of the way, from your plannings to your referrals, it's important that the consent is also at those points in times acknowledged from the survivor. So I think that similarly, we're going to also learn new concepts today about assessment. How do we look at the assessment of the case? What are the things that we need to look out for? And then how do we then plan to the actions we are going to take regarding the case? So I think today's training is going to be very, very an interesting one, and I'm excited about it too. And in just a few minutes, our trainer will join us. And I'll just take the time to also reiterate what Madam had said earlier, that our training tomorrow, and she also requested our understanding and regretted all the inconveniences that would cause. That instead of 1 to 3 p.m. tomorrow, we will just start at 4 tomorrow for our meeting. So in just a few minutes, our trainer will be on board. I think she's online now. Dr. Beatrice, are you available now? I saw her a while ago. Her internet has been destructive though. She's been coming in and going out. Okay. Is Dr. Beatrice around? Let me check. Okay. So within the next 5 minutes, we are going to start as soon as she's available. So in the meantime, what one thing will you implement in your organization? What one thing, based on what you've learned yesterday, will you implement in your organization? If you want to speak, just raise your hand so that I can see you and then give you the floor. Let me look for someone who has not spoken. Deborah Adewale, I see you here. Were you here yesterday? Can you share with us something you learned and you are going to implement in your organization? And Harriet, I see you here too. Okay, yes, please go ahead. Deborah.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
So yes, I was here yesterday and the session was quite informative. Part of the things that I'll be implementing in my organization is ensuring that there is a documented framework to handle case-based, gender-based violence, not just, something off for all employees. So ensuring that, of course, the consent is also properly um, collected and documented, that conversation with the survivors are properly, handled, and ensuring that, there is mutual agreement between both parties. So I'm going to be ensuring that there is a proper framework to that effect, and not just expecting that the members of the team would know all of these things, so those are part of the things I'll be implementing. Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting. I find that very, very interesting, especially when you are working with other team members who are not really taking this training. I think it also calls for a preparation to step down everything you've learned to your team members so that they too can have an understanding of what the process is. And I like what you spoke about, developing a framework so that everybody understands the standard of operating and standard of dealing with or attending to survivors as they come. So it's a brilliant one. Well done. All right, so let's have one more person share with us before we then hand over to our trainer.
Good afternoon. I wasn't here yesterday. I want to request for the slides today.
Okay. We'll share the materials with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Light, were you raising your hand to speak? Okay, I really want us to take one more. I'll just call somebody else now. Joseph, Johanna, Yari, were you here yesterday? And would you like to share? Okay. Galaxy AO2, do you want to share with us? Okay, Sarah Bassi, yes, please go ahead and share with us.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon.
I just want to apologize. Because I was not able to connect yesterday with several tires. It failed me, but I want to appreciate the team that for having it at the back of your mind, step down the knowledge you had for the wonderful project or challenges we are having in this country about the GBV. Thank you so much. I just want to stress to lend my voice to have access of holding this mess. The traditional leaders must be accountable to the church leaders and also the youth. Likewise, the women should be part and parcel of decision making in any community. I think with this, it will be a kind of going in to sink into the hearts of the youth and the elders. Because if we find a situation that the elders refuse to expose those that are into this menace, this attitude, I think because they don't want their names to be spoiled, I think the government should harness and connect together so that we can meet up, because there must be a law in each of the states that if one is wanted, he must be prosecuted. And if we can take this seriously into our various community and state and national level, I think we can make a headway So I am really deeply interested, and if anything happens, I'm not objecting the issue of not being fully into the training, but the network has frustrated my life, which I'm only managing myself to be. Even as I'm talking to you people, I'm just standing somewhere so that I can be listening small, go in, go out. So sorry for that. I just want to thank you for adding more knowledge to what we had before. Your name is Daniel, I think.
Yes,
I try
please.
linking up and even answering the pretest. It's saying that my password is linked to your call, this and this. These crazy things I one have to manage. Well, I'm Leah Solomon Lucy from Taraba State. Thank you. I'm the national co-deputy of the side-by-side movement in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. However, I think that it's good that you're raising this concern here with us in terms of now you are speaking about advocacy and trying to get buy-ins into what you do. And I think perhaps we're going to create another training for that. Our chairperson is here. She's a champion in advocacy and getting buy-ins. But this particular training is actually for steps in GBV management. And I think that when we have that training on advocacy and getting buy-in, I think that will be a more appropriate place to onboarding all of this and then discuss that in depth and to know how to actually go about it. We acknowledge your concern. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Harriet, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. I really want to thank the organizers of this meeting. It has been an eye-opener for me. I've been doing this gender GBV. I've intervened on several occasions, but I've been doing it my own way. I've been really doing it from experience and all that. But with this yesterday's training was a whole lot, and I really want to say kudos to the facilitators and the management of this of this great association. I know with this we can go places. Just like one other speaker said, it's time for us to cascade this even to the grassroots, because I'm one person who believes so much that whatever is happening most at the grassroots, not even at the urban areas, because we have opportunity of intervening, of doing one or two things, but those at the grassroots are really hard hit. So we need to really take our advocacy to village settings, let the women, let the men, let the boys know of all these things. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for sharing with us and for being with us and for interacting with us and sharing what you've learned. So our time is fast spent, and I'll be calling on our trainer, Dr. Beatrice. Are you here now, madam?
Yes, I am.
Oh, great.
Good afternoon,
great.
everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I should go ahead.
Yes, please. You have the floor.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and happy to see you again on day 2. I'm so excited about the discussions that are going on. From the feedback we are already receiving, just on step 1, and there is a reorientation about GBV case management. I think I'm excited about that because it was the same excitement when I went for the training. I was like, wow. So I've just been doing what I felt was GBV case management until I had that training. So I'm also seeing it being played out amongst us, amongst the participants. And I'm so glad about it. So today is day 2. I want to encourage everyone. I think the pre-test, we are just going to be giving like 2-3 minutes before we pull down the pre-test, because pre-tests are supposed to be taken before even commencement of the training because of M&E. So I think Daniel was supposed to mention that. So in the next 2-3 minutes, we'll be pulling it down. Once again, I'm excited to be here in day 2. So before we go into step 2, which is what we have today, step 2 and 3, I hope I'm correct. I want to still talk about, when Habakkuk was talking, he talked about structure. That is the key thing he mentioned there. And that is just it. Structure is the word for GBV case management. We've been doing things, the way we want to do it, but if we really want to be professional in it, then it is a structured way of handling the cases that makes it professional. And I appreciate the second lady that spoke that, okay, I picked something from what she said. Is it Dr. Ukeme? When she was talking about, she said she now understood that the well-being of the survivor should come before justice. And, previously she was thinking justice should come before the way, and that's most of the things we do as GBV case workers. Most times, immediately a survivor comes, the first thing that comes to your mind is justice, justice, justice. Yes, even the well-being of the survivor is a form of justice, because sometimes what we think is justice might not be what the survivor is thinking that is justice. So, but all the same, GBV case management is fully focused on the well-being of the survivor. And like I earlier said yesterday, you are like a professional, you are like a doctor who is there to provide services for the well-being of your clients. So that is why activism at that point might not be needed. And even when it is needed, you might not be the one to provide it. It might be your organization or another organization or a coalition, depending, but I believe as the discussion goes forward, we'll understand better. All right, so thank you very much once again for joining. Thank you, Daniel, for anchoring for the past 40 minutes. Thank you, my NC, the national chair. Thank you, everyone, for making yesterday a success. Today, I believe, will be better. So today we are looking at assessment. That is the step 2. Sorry, I'll put off my video for a better quality. We'll be looking at assessment. That's step 2. I heard Daniel asking about the step 1, and people mentioned it, which is introduction and engagement. So today is step 2, which is assessment. Now, this is where, remember in the first step, I said, you are doing the talking. In step 1, you are doing the talking. But in step 2 now, it is now the turn of the survivor to do the talking. And remember in step 1, the survivor must have gotten all necessary information. You are not to withhold any information from the survivor. You are going to make the survivor understand, okay, in this case, there are various services that can be provided. If we arrest the perpetrator, this is what the law will do. It will end up in court. It will do this is that. Because it's a rape case, you need this, you need that, you understand, give her all necessary information. When she now accepts that she's going forward with the services you are going to be providing for her, then she signs the consent form, and then you proceed to assessment. What do you do in assessment? In assessment, you use supportive communication to facilitate disclosure. Assessment, everything about assessment is dependent on these 2 keywords, facilitate, disclosure. You are trying to make the survivor to tell you her story in a way that she'll give you all the necessary information you need to be able to provide her or link her to necessary services and support. You develop an understanding of the survivor's situation and context. At this point, you are expected to empathize. Sometimes when we talk about sympathy is unprofessional, empathy is more professional, because sympathy will make you it can trigger more, re-traumatize the survivor. For instance, the survivor starts crying and you join her in crying. What happens? She will feel that her situation is so terrible. When she's even discussing it outside, she say, even when I'm telling the woman, she also started crying with me. So, but empathy, yes, you understand that her story is pathetic, but at the same time, you are giving her hope that is not, all hope is not lost. You conduct a thorough assessment of a survivor's needs. That's what you do in assessment. Next slide. Once again, this is a reminder of our 6 steps in case management, GBV case management. We did introduction and engagement. Today is assessment. Next slide. Okay, so what is the purpose? Good case management relies on conducting a good assessment. Remember, if you didn't get her story well, you will not be able to help her better. So you determine if other responders are involved. This is very important. Has she told her story to some other persons and have they started helping? You have to find out from her or him. Why? So that you don't start processing or start helping her out and someone comes and say, but I'm handling this situation. So she needs to give you proper information about that. Understand who the survivor is. That is why they call it facilitating disclosure. You will be asking her questions that will help her to tell you more about herself. Remember, please, you don't use open-ended questions. You don't use questions that, use open-ended questions. You don't use questions that will give you yes or no answers. You don't say, for instance, did you feel pain when he had sex with you? What are you expecting? Yes or no? But you say after the event, what happened? Then she will not tell you, oh, I was feeling pain. I was, and she will give you more information than using a question that will give you yes or no. Invite the survivor to tell you what happened. Keep leading her on so that she will tell you more about what happened. Listen well. Listen well. As she's speaking, you listen. Respond with validation, with like, okay, I'm with you. Respond with compassion. Say, I understand how you feel. And then the information. Identify the survivor's concerns and key needs. That's what you do in assessment. You are trying to understand her major concerns. There are some survivors. Remember scenario 2 yesterday. Remember we said we are going to be using those 2 scenarios. The first one is a girl that was raped. Then the second one is a woman that is being battered by her husband. For a woman that is being battered by her husband, there are some that will come and tell you that all I want is to be separated from him. But maybe you as a caseworker, after hearing her story, what you'll be thinking, you need divorce. You need, in your mind, maybe divorce. But that may not be her need. So her need may be separation. And at that point, she doesn't even want to go back home. So what are her need? What is her first need then? Safety. A place, that a shelter where she can lay, where she can stay off her husband's reach. So you identify the survivor's concern and the survivor's key needs while you are assessing the survivor. Document relevant information on a form or in the case notes if you have a safe case documentation and storage. Remember what we said yesterday. These are the things you have already discussed with the survivor in the first step. So when she sees you writing down notes or writing down some things in the form, she will not feel bad because you have already explained to her that those are the things you will do to be able to properly document her case. So what is assessment? Is the act of gathering information or data from a client and evaluating it. And why are you evaluating it? To make decisions about his or her care. Next slide. The focus of assessment is basically listening. Remember I said in the first step, You are the one talking. In the second step, this is the turn of the survivor to talk. Your role is to facilitate disclosure. What you need to do is to keep leading her on to, tell you more about the situation. This is an activity. We'll keep it at the parking lot. We'll come back to it. After the assessment, after the presentation, we'll have a role play between a survivor and a case worker who will help us facilitate disclosure, make the survivor to tell us more about her case. Next slide. Pre-assessment activities. Ask the survivor about their immediate need. Why do they call it pre-assessment? Before even the survivor disclose all about her story, you need to ask her immediate need. For instance, scenario 2, the woman that was battered, remember we said she came bleeding. The husband has used a metal object on her head. So what do you think is her immediate need at that particular point? Of course, it's medical attention. Address any urgent medical needs. It's even possible that the woman, as she came out, she doesn't want to go back home. So one of her immediate needs might be safety, aside the medical needs. So you assess and see what exactly the survivor needs at that particular time. Determine if other service providers have already been involved. Like I said earlier in the last 2 slides, you need to find out from the survivor. Has anyone been involved in your case? Did you go to any hospital or any health center to get some medication? You need to find out, make sure that you get those information. Next slide. Okay, assessment points. Remember, anytime you remember assessment, please remember this word, facilitate disclosure. That is just all that you are doing in assessment. And why are you facilitating disclosure? You are facilitating disclosure to be able to help the survivor to get support, to get care, to get have access to her needs, have access to service providers that will meet her needs. So facilitate a disclosure from the survivor. Number 1, gather background information. Remember yesterday we talked about relevant questions. So you ask relevant questions that will give you an information about her background. Young girl is scenario 1 that the young girl is scenario 1 that was raped. And she said she was raped by her father. You need to dig more. Okay, where is your mom? Is your mom with you? Okay. Your father, does he have any other wife aside your mom? Gather more information. Has your father, you can even further ask whether your father has been into any abusive relationship before. How does he treat his mom? So that you understand the home that she's coming out from. That will also help you to know whether she also needs beyond medical attention, whether she also needs shelter, whether even you will be able to extend your care to other members of the family, especially the mother, if there is need. You need those background information. Understand what happened. How did it happen? Not that you go straight and ask her, how did it happen? There is a way you point the question, the way that she will speak. When? Has he done that before? Is this the first time? So when you are asking her that question, she will be able to tell you. She might even disclose to you that it has not been, this is not the first time she has been there for like 2 or 3 years, that she has even had an abortion or abortions, for the father. So you dig more. You encourage her to speak about the issue. Then respond to the disclosure. Of course, she said everything. She has told you her story. What are you supposed to do? You are supposed to respond. And remember, as you are doing the assessment, you're supposed to be putting down her needs. What are the needs? So how do you respond to the disclosure? Does she need safety? Does she need a safe space? Does she need a place that she will lay, a shelter? Then you discuss that with her or him. Does the survivor need health care? You discuss it with the survivor. What about psychosocial? Most times, psychosocial is always provided even from the first point of call. As a GBV caseworker, you are supposed to be an expert in psychosocial support. It's when it now comes to mental health, that is where when you look at the pyramid, when we talk of mental health issues now, at the pyramid, when you now see that, oh, the person is not coordinating, at that point, you know that you cannot provide that kind of assistance. You need a mental health specialist that can provide that kind of services for her. But the normal psychosocial support of bringing the person to normalcy, somebody that is hysterical, somebody that is already in like crying or depressed, you can talk the person out of that kind of mood and bring the person back. But where the person has left that particular state and is going towards, being mentally unstable, you know that is not your position. There's another person to handle that. You find out the needs. Does the person need legal aid? There are some persons that sometimes they may tell you, no, I just want, like the woman that was beaten by her husband. There are some that will come to the police station that will say, yes, arrest him, but don't allow them to beat him. I just want him to come to police station and write undertaking. While some will say, no, I want to take it up. I want to go to court. Do you have money to go to court? I don't have the money to go to court. You as a GBV caseworker, you should be able to know service providers that provide legal services on pro bono. That is why you are called a GBV caseworker. You are supposed to be very knowledgeable on handling such cases. You are supposed to know all the service providers, those that provide pro bono, those that are ready to help in such circumstances. Next slide. So you don't just facilitate disclosure and leave the survivor. No, as you facilitate disclosure, you respond to the needs of the survivor. No, next slide, please. So this is just how you can facilitate disclosure, which I've mentioned all of them before, but I'll just read them out. Begin the conversation with basic questions. How old are you? Basic questions. Listen carefully to the story as the survivor tells it. Don't interrupt sometimes. You can just be nodding, make some noise. Yes, I'm with you. You understand? Just to concord, just to make her know that you're listening. You don't need to be interrupting. There are some times that when you interrupt a survivor, when he or she is telling her story, there's that possibility that there is something she wants to disclose before you interrupted that she may not continue with. So you don't interrupt. What you do is validate what the person is saying to make sure that just for the survivor to know that you are listening. Watch the survivor's body language closely for any signs of discomfort. Somebody mentioned it yesterday after the role play. It's very important. Encourage and empathize through nonverbal and verbal communication. Actively check in with her along the way. As she's moving, she's going. Like yesterday, I mentioned it. When she started, she was all active and she was just, but after a while, her voice started shutting down. You don't just keep going with her. You ask her, would you want to rest a little? Would you want us to take a pause? So always check in on your survivor. Respect the survivor's desire to stop sharing information. Ma, I don't want to talk again. Oh, it's fine. If you don't want to talk again, there is no problem. But I can give you time. Any day you feel that you still want to disclose, you talk about the issue, you can call me and we can continue. At that point, the person will know that you're empathizing with the person. You don't want to force him or her to, do your bid because you want justice for her. Ask clarifying questions once the survivor has finished or has paused. Ask if there are some things the survivor said they are not clear about. Please ask. It's very important because it's what she says that will help you to facilitate support for her. Avoid unnecessary questions and interruptions. I've mentioned it even yesterday. Take notes if needed. Now, when we say you should take notes, it doesn't mean that as a caseworker, because you want to document, your face will just be on the paper and you're just writing what. No. Take notes. If you want to now do a detail, it's when the survivor has left. You have to focus on the survivor. There should be that eye contact. There should be that, engagement with the non-verbal engagement with the survivor. If not, the survivor will feel that you're no longer interested in what she's saying. Next slide. Okay, so background information, who is the survivor? These are the things, basic essential information, the survivor's age, current living situation, family situation, occupation or role in the community. Next slide, I've mentioned them before. What happened? These are the things that you can ask the survivor. You do not need to have all the details about the violence. As you keep engaging with the survivor, she will open up the more. But on that day that you are having that assessment, you can help her to talk more. But when you see that, you know, she might be tired at a point, you leave her, she can give you more information as time goes on. And these are some of the things you can find out about her. Know if there is severe pain, bleeding. You know, sometimes when it comes to rape, you are not seeing the physical, you are not seeing the pain physical because you are not the one to examine her vaginal area or anal area. So you will not see it physically. You have to find out, are you bleeding? Do you have severe pain? How are you feeling? So with that, you now know that, okay, this person needs immediate medical treatment. Then you find out about the perpetrator, his relationship or her relationship with the survivor, where the perpetrator is, even where the perpetrator is now, because finding out where the perpetrator is now is a way of also designing a safety plan for the survivor. Because if the perpetrator, for instance, the first scenario we had, the perpetrator is her father. So the perpetrator is still inside where she will go and sleep. So there's that possibility that he will still abuse her that night. So you can see that there's a need for safety plan. There's a need for shelter. But that also is what you discuss with the survivor to know if that is what she really wants. Next slide. You need to also number of perpetrators. If it is a multiple rape, if it is a gang rape, you need to find out. You also need to find out if it's a rape victim. Have you been abused before now? Like the scenario of the girl that was abused by her father. Was your father the first person to have sex with you? Have you been abused before? That will also help you to know how better you can help the survivor. When the last incident took place, understand what happened. When did it happen? How did it happen? At what time? Or does it always occur at that time? Survivors do not need to recount every incident of abuse during an initial interview. I've said that before in the last slide. They don't need to recount everything at once. But if they want to go on, fine. But at a point they want to stop, please allow them some time. Yes? Next slide. Next slide, we'll come to that. Responding to disclosure. You know, from the first step, you have already built a rapport with the survivor. So as you are engaging with the survivor during assessment, you build relationship. How do you build relationship? The survivor should be able to trust you. How would the survivor trust you? By your expression, by the things you are saying. That's how the things you are saying while the survivor is disclosing or is telling her story. It does what? You validate and empower her. How do you empower? You tell the survivor what happened. Never you think that what happened to you is your fault. Because we have had issues of women that were beaten by their husbands. When she comes, she say, it's my fault. I know. I have been denying him sex for like 2 days now. That is why he keeps. I found out that anytime I tell him that I am tired, that I don't feel like having sex, he beats me up the next day. So I think it's my fault. So you need to empower the survivor that it's never her fault. Some will tell you that I'm not a good wife. I'm not a good husband. Maybe that's why she's treating me this way or he's treating me that way. So you need to empower the survivor and tell the person that it is never their fault. So why is it? You can even give them example. Your husband that beats you up. So if actually it's disrespect that makes him to beat you up or makes her to beat you up, how comes that people disrespect them outside and they never slap the person? You know, you find something that will empower her to make her know that, oh, actually, that perpetrator was wrong and my right has been abused. So you build trust, you are reassured almost tell the survivor that, did you even allow yourself to do that? My emotions were almost coming in. Because there are some stories you hear, you like, There are some stories you hear, you like, this person, is he not thinking? But in GBV case management, there is no blaming of survivor. And when the survivor finishes telling her story, please always reassure her. Thank you for telling me your story. You are very brave for telling me alone. Do you know that for the person coming out to even come and tell her story to you is bravery? It's not everyone that can come out. Always tell her, I believe you. What happened was not your fault. I'm sorry that this happened to you. That's empathy. Next slide. Sorry, I want to finish this particular slides before we take our role play, because I think we still have step 3 to cover before our time. Assessment of needs. This is just an overview because we have seen it before in one of the slides. These are the 4 major things you assess when the survivor is telling her story. Does she need her safety needs, her medical need, her legal need, and her psychosocial needs? Next slide. So for safety, you determine the level of the survivor's safety by understanding survivor's sense of safety in the home, survivor's sense of safety in the community, survivors identify safety or support system. If there is that possibility that the person is not even safe, even in the entire community, there is that possibility. So that's why when you are facilitating disclosure, engage the survivor in a way that she will tell you more stories that will help you to help her better or him better. Safety need, listening for situations, circumstances, and people that are harming the survivor. Sometimes it might not be just one person, like the scenario of the lady, the girl that her father abused. There's that possibility that the father is not the only person abusing her. Maybe he's the one abusing her sexually, but there are other people that are abusing her, physically or any other way. So you find out more, and that will help you to have a safety plan. So look at that last arrow, safety assessment, safety plan. You make her feel safe while you're assessing her for her based on what she has told you. And the plan you are developing, you are doing it together. Next slide. You are not to develop a safety plan on your own. You do it together. There are some persons that will tell you, okay, I don't want to go to a shelter. My sister is very supportive. I want to go to her house and stay. But my husband knows the house, and he knows the house. So I feel that if I go to the house, he might trace me to that place. So at that point, you know that the safety is not total if she goes to the sister's house. So you ask her more, okay, apart from your sister's house, which other place do you think you can go and feel safe? Because already she has disclosed to you that, yes, she can feel safe in her sister's house, but she has that fear that the husband can still trace her and come to that. So the safety is not total. So you look for other alternatives. That's why we said assessment means facilitating disclosure. You keep asking until finally you find a better place for her. So for health, of course, PEP, we know that a girl that is raped or a woman that is, or someone that is raped, to avoid HIV, you need to go to the hospital and take that PEP within 72 hours. Emergency contraceptives within 120 hours. Then the vaginal examination within 2 weeks, they should be able to do that. And that has to do with also HIV, hepatitis vaccine. You know, when rape occurs, the perpetrator, you don't know his health status. So that's why all these things are administered to the survivor, so that, you know, she will not contract the disease out of abuse that she experienced. STI testing and treatment, of course, within 5 weeks, that will be done. Tetanus shots within the same 5 weeks. General physical examination, when they say always, of course, from the first time the person goes, then it's like follow up, always checking on the person on how she is faring and how she is improving health-wise. Next slide. Next slide. Or is that the end of our slide? Daniel. Hello, I've been talking since. Are we together?
Yes,
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 ma'am.
yes, we are together.
I'm so
you very
sorry.
much.
Today, I wanted to just finish
We are
this one
together. We are together.
before we go into
We are
interactions
together.
and yes, because we still have one other step to handle. Yes.
Together, we are listening. Very, very interesting.
Thank you
We are
very much
enjoying it.
for
We are enjoying it.
okay.
We are enjoying you.
Thank you very much. All right, so that is the health need.
We are
Then
together.
okay, thank you very much. We now have the psychosocial needs, which I've mentioned. Every GBV caseworker is supposed to have that. If you have not been trained on how to provide psychological first aid, psychosocial support for GBV survivors, I advise that you do so, because one of the major needs of the survivor is psychosocial support, and psychosocial support spans through from the beginning to the end of that case. Then they don't go to psychosocial. We are done with health. So it spans from the beginning to the end. So you need to be trained. You need to be vast with issues of psychosocial support, how you can help the survivor to navigate through all the problems. The next slide. Okay, so what do you do here? Psychosocial needs, how do you assess it? Get a basic sense of how the survivor is feeling, of course. Use the scale. You can see what we normally use these emojis in our WhatsApp. And so from this, you'll be able to know. Like I told you yesterday, there are some survivors that will come into your office. You say, this one say she was raped. It will even be difficult for you to believe. But there are some persons that are like that. When they come out outside, they show that they are strong. But when they go in, they can kill themselves. So you need to be very sensitive to know, observe their appearance, or observe their behavior. Some can be hysterical. Some can even be violent. You understand? So you need to have that ability to calm the survivor down, one, and then observe. It's through that observation that you will know whether the mental health services that the survivor needs, whether it ends at psychosocial support or you need a specialist that will handle that survivor. It's through observation. Assess any changes in their feelings of behavior. That means as you keep meeting the person, please be assessing the behavior of the survivor. The first time you meet with the survivor, by the next time you should check how the survivor is behaving, even at the cost of your engagement with the survivor. As the survivor is speaking, I want to tell you that as a good GBV caseworker, we are always told that the way a survivor walk in should not be the same way a survivor should walk out. Why? Because you are supposed to provide a psychosocial support. And in that psychosocial support, you are supposed to, at the end of the talking with the survivor should feel better and leave your place happier than he or she came. So these are some of the behaviors we'll look at for. Next slide. Next slide. We are done with psychosocial. Everything I've said is still here. It's just for us to look out for them, identify them, and know how best to help the survivor. Then legal assessment. Determine the survivor's interest, very key. Is the survivor interested in pursuing legal action through the available justice system? interest. If the person is interested, the survivor is interested. Why we keep talking about interest is you are not the one that is going to talk at the law courts. So if the survivor did not show interest and the day that of hearing, you are not the one that was raped. So it's the survivor that is supposed to come and tell her story. So, but the only thing you need is to encourage the survivor, okay, I will be there with you. Of course, if you are making promises, make sure that it's promise that you can keep. But ethically, as a GBV caseworker, you are supposed to follow the survivor, especially when it comes to legal action. Even if it is not you in person, somebody from your organization, which the survivor already knows. That will make the survivor feel supportive and make the survivor feel safe, because if she's facing the law court, fear may be there, but seeing your presence and your eye contact with the survivor as she's speaking gives her more courage. So understand whether the survivor is interested in pursuing a justice response. Know the options for pursuing justice in particular setting, formal or informal. Do you just want us to call the community and this thing and, you know, and the law courts so that we, because there's some legal hearing when it comes to rape, that day the judge will ask everybody in the law court to leave, especially when it involves a minor. They will ask the law court, they will empty the room, and then to provide a kind of support for the survivor to speak. So if that is obtainable in your area, you let her know. If it is not, you also let her or him know. It's very important. Do you have lawyers that provide pro bono service? You let her know. If there are none and she's going to be paying money, you also let the person know, so that the person can make or take decision on what he or she wants. Unless a survivor raises the issue of reporting a case to the police or wanting to prosecute the case, we usually do not conduct a legal needs assessment in the initial assessment with a survivor. It is not our role to pressure the survivor into any services at all. It's not your role to pressure. It's your role to guide. It's your role to tell the pros and the cons. Assessment documentation. Oftentimes, forms are used as part of assessment process. So you document it in a way that you keep the forms safe. Forms should not be the focus of the assessment. They should support the assessment process. That is, as you are filling form, I've mentioned it before. While the survivor is speaking, that should not be your focus for now. Take just major details. Later, you can fill up the details as you want. Always get permission. Make sure the person is comfortable that you are taking notes. Of course, that should be done in your first engagement, first step. Next slide. Suicide assessment, it has to do with the mental health that we have mentioned before. As you are looking at the survivor may express feeling of wanting to die. As she's talking, she may now say, you know, the unsaid is more than the said. So as she's talking, she could picture something more dangerous that has happened to her that she has not even mentioned to you. And the next thing she will say, I just want to die. At that point, just know that you too, she will need a better mental health service. So you need a counselor that will counsel her on that, so that she doesn't think of harming herself or killing herself. It is not normal for her to say that. That is what we mean by it is not normal. What I mean by it is not normal for her to say that is there is something more to what she has said. But there's that possibility that because she has abused, that is why she's saying it. While we say it is normal, that is, some people may express that. That's how they want to express, but there is something deeper. So that is why you look forward a counselor. Normalize the person's feeling. Determine if these are just thoughts, feelings, or if there is an immediate risk that this person may act on the feeling that they are having. That's why you probe more. Oh, I just want to die. Okay, so what happened? You can just tell the person, it's normal that when somebody go through what you went through, the person may start thinking that it's better for the person to die. But you can see, you can give the person scenarios. I've met someone like this. I've met someone that was even gang raped, and she right now she's doing well. After she has taken all the services that we provided for her. She's fine now. She's doing so well. You know, at that point, you can bring the person to normalcy. But if you now see that you cannot normalize the person, it is not normal. Something more is up there in her psyche, which needs a mental health expert. Determine if these are just thought feelings or if there is an immediate risk that this person may act on the feeling they are having. Plan for how to keep the person safe. We do not judge or tell the person that they shouldn't have these thoughts or feeling. Next slide. Find out all this information, whether there is any suicidal tendencies before, whether there is any such suicidal issues in her family line, history of alcohol and substance abuse. These are some of the risk factors that could lead to suicide. Next slide. I've been waiting for this slide. Is someone with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We are with you.
Okay.
We are with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is it. That is just about the assessment. And like I said, when you remember assessment, just remember facilitating disclosure. It's just for you to facilitate disclosure and then respond to the disclosure. That is just what it is all about. Thank you very much. So before we go into question and answer for just this particular district, well, I need 2 volunteers, one a survivor, one a case worker. And I want a case worker that will do so badly in the assessments. That is, you are going to act as a bad case worker. Daniel, can we have volunteers?
Yes, we have 2 already. We have Sarah and we have Mekunye.
Okay. So who is playing the caseworker and who is playing the survivor?
I'm playing the caseworker, Dr. Mekuye, caseworker.
Okay. So who is for the survivor?
I'm for the survivor, ma'am.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 minutes. You understand what you're supposed to do, right? Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Sarah. Yes. So Sarah, you act as a survivor. Now you have already done, people have done introduction and engagement. So now it's assessment. So the caseworker now, your own is to find, assess the survivor. So ask her questions, be a bad caseworker. Just do a very, just show that you're a bad caseworker so that we can learn from it. So survivor, you play along and let's see what you have. So 2 of you should on your video so that we can see your expressions.
Okay.
How we start?
Yes, action.
Okay. Madam, wetin carry you come?
First, now one of my friend, one woman for my area, I say make I come your office because for my house, my house,
Talk now, madam, talk.
Okay.
No, again.
Don't be sad, no, I know. For my house, for night, my my auntie husband, when me and her dey stay, anytime my auntie go night work, na so he go dey come meet me. I don't tire.
I know they hear wetin you dey talk. Talk out now. You say wetin happen?
I say, anytime my auntie go night work, the husband no dey allow me dey sleep. All my body go dey pepper me. Now one auntie for my area when be say e don hear my neighbor, na him call me, dey ask me, say make I come meet you.
Una dey stay for face my face you.
Na compound we dey o.
Okay. Wetin be your name?
My name na Sarah.
How many children you get?
I never born o.
I don't even know the kind clothes wey you dey wear. You know say you dey stay with man. Well, that's one another thing we go talk, sha. How many times the man don't come meet you?
Thank you. 2 minutes is over.
Bravo.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Well done.
Wow.
Excellent.
Very interesting. Okay,
Well
comment.
done.
What did you observe from the caseworker?
For me, the caseworker was not a professional caseworker at all. She was not a patient person, and she was asking the victim, what were you wearing? As a caseworker, you are not supposed to even ask her what was she wearing. She has the right to wear whatever she feel like, whatever that is comfortable with. So going is just like she's traumatizing the victim more.
Okay. Thank you very much. Daniel, one more person, pick out the areas that the caseworker was not doing, or that the caseworker didn't do well.
The caseworker was very harsh, very, very harsh.
Okay.
With her attitude, with her questions, just like the first speaker said, she wasn't empathic at all. There was no introduction. She didn't make the woman to feel at home, to feel welcome. There was no empathy with her.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. One last person.
Please,
caseworker was also busy writing. She was busy
hello?
writing, concentrating on the person.
And
great.
She was not a good listener.
Okay, how about
Okay.
let's have you?
Honestly, the caseworker, we need to give her applause. He can get an award, though. so it's very interesting. Although others have said what I wanted to have said, but the caseworker was very harsh and very was very furious. In fact, it's very scary to the survivor. So it will not make the survivor feel at home to be able to express herself very well. In fact, even the survivor will even try. If it were also, it will even cry. So it's a good one.
All right. So thank you very much.
Yes.
So Habakkuk, you play the good caseworker for us now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So we need a volunteer that will be the survivor.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Hello,
ma'am.
The worker, she's too harsh.
Yes, someone has mentioned that.
She's too harsh.
Yes.
And domineering.
Yes, thank you very much. We need to move ahead. If someone has mentioned your point, no need of mentioning again. So we'll move ahead to the correct caseworker now. Please, let's listen. You have already, Habakkuk, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You have met the survivor already. This time around, you are just doing assessments. It's the assessment that we want to see you act now. She has told you her name, you have already, in fact, she has signed the consent form. Now is the assessment we want to see. So who can go for the survivor?
Any volunteer, please raise your hand.
Yes,
Sarah
yes, yes.
again. Okay.
Okay, so Habakkuk, you use
Ma'am?
use the scenario 1. That is the girl that was raped by her father. That's her story.
Oh, okay.
All right, so can you on your video?
All right.
Both survivor and caseworker. All right, action. Is the survivor still here?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go.
Okay. 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 You're welcome. Hello, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Oh, you're welcome. How are you feeling?
I do.
Okay. Anything that is worrying you?
Wetin dey worry me many well, Oga. Wetin dey worry me many. Yes, sir. Can't I be heard?
We can hear you, Sarah.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
I think our caseworker is having some challenges with the internet.
Okay, maybe we should have someone else because of our time. Daniel.
Yes, I am looking at a volunteer.
Okay.
Who wants to volunteer?
Harriet, would you volunteer for us? Okay, Daniel, I'm seeing a hand.
Yes, I think Harriet is unmuting herself. Please speak to us. Are you volunteering?
Okay, I'm volunteering.
Okay, great.
So please remember, you have already engaged with her. This is time for assessment. So just go straight to assessment. The scenario is that she was raped by her father.
Okay, my dear, taking that you have signed our consent form, and now we're going to go to the hospital to ascertain the injuries inflicted on you. I hope it's okay with you.
But auntie, me, I no get money. Oh.
You say what?
I no get money to go hospital. Who go pay?
I'm going to be there for you. Just like I promised. I'm going to be there for you. Money is not going to be the issue at this moment, because what we really want to do, what we do in this facility, is to make sure that we get going. So there's not going to be an issue. So we're going to go to the hospital. We're going to meet, we have a doctor. Or do you have anywhere you want to? We're going to go to the general hospital. Or do you have any issue with that? Do you have an hospital you want us to go to?
That general hospital. So you get one woman for my church when they work for that hospital. If he tell my papa, oh, I no know.
It's okay. So do you have any hospital you think we can go to?
I don't know anywhere say good more we go, but that place if the auntie see me, now another wahala for house.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to make another arrangement for us to visit a private hospital. Okay, outside the vicinity of where you live. Is it okay?
Okay,
It's
ma.
okay. It's all right. It's okay. Take him. Do you have any other concern at the moment? Can you go back to the house, or is there any place you want me to take you? Can you go back to the house? Is it safe?
If I no call go house, if my mama come, they go say I sleep outside. And if I go house for night, I no go still fit sleep again. I just tired.
Don't be tired, okay? Don't be tired. We're here for you, okay? We're just trying to make sure that everything was okay. So now, if you cannot, do you have any sister or a brother? You can, if the home is not safe at this time, do you have a brother or a sister you can tell your mom you want to visit it, so that we can go to that place?
No only we did this side. Na me be senior pikin for house. So even my younger ones that they house. Na me be the senior pikin for the house. So na me be senior. We get 3 girls and 1 boy follow me. Na me be senior. And since we come worry this side now, I never really know people place. I don't know. Na just church people and our town people when be say they the same area now. No. If I sleep there, I never voted them. I never tell them. If I tell them
Okay.
whether they go believe me now, I don't know.
Okay. Now, what would be your mother's reaction? Because if you're saying if she sleep outside, she's not going to be happy. Does she know about this, or can we tell her? What do you think may be her reaction if we tell
Round
her
up.
what's going on? Don't be ashamed. Just open up to me, okay? You're safe, okay?
My
safe.
my mommy love my husband. He love my papa well. If I tell her now, I don't even know how she go take am. I don't know how she go take am. But one thing, my papa, he like me since so. They buy me things, they do everything for me. Oh, I no just know.
All right. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please, let's give thumbs up for them. Let's give them thumbs up.
Hello. Hello.
Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Sarah,
Well done.
yes,
Hello.
Sarah is like you.
Well done.
Are you a case worker? You have met with a lot of survivors.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the way you are doing your voice and your body, it shows that you
Hello,
have
ma.
met a lot of them. Okay, so
Hello, ma.
Daniel,
Yes, ma'am.
let's take responses now, reactions.
Okay.
Please just raise your hand before he will, so that it will be coordinated. He will
All
call
right.
on you and you speak.
Habakkuk, please go ahead.
On the case
Sorry,
worker, remember, not the
sorry.
survivor.
Yeah, sorry, apology for the poor network. Well, I was supposed to play that role. Unfortunately, the network just went off on my own side here.
Okay,
No
it's
problem.
fine.
Yeah, sorry, please.
All right, thank you.
Actually, yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Ebiere, Epese, please, your input. I hope I'm not
Good
bothering you.
afternoon. Yes. No, it's okay. It's fine. If you're busy. Okay, so I want to really commend the caseworker. Her voice was calm and soothing to the victim. But I felt that beyond that, the time she asked the victim if she knows any clinic, it felt to me like she was not putting the burden of the work, the help she's supposed to render to the victim, rather on the victim. So I was thinking, instead of asking, do you know any clinic? You take charge immediately to say, I'm taking you to so clinic. Don't forget that this person is probably traumatized and so may not be in a good frame of mind to say this and this. And for such cases, it's advised that you take the person to a government hospital or to a facility that deals with such issues. And so she should have taken charge by saying, I'll take you to so and so place. And then the other one, still putting the burden on the victim. Do you know if so if you go back there, will it be this, will it be that? The question I liked was when she asked, is your mother aware? That should be asked, of course. And then telling her to go back to the same environment. It was the same environment she was, the same house where she was, where the mother was, that thing happened. So at that present time, it's not the best option for her to go home. So I think the mother should have been brought to the know of what is happening, and then of course relocate the person first from that environment to see how they solve the issues before they go back. Generally, it was okay for me, but I felt too much burden was placed on the victim. The case manager ought to have taken charge of certain things. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Samson Kalio.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Caseworker, wonderful one. In fact, different cases would bring its unique and wonderful challenge. For this particular one, I wonder what the caseworker would have done better. I'm asking so that I also have better understanding. Because the incident is within the survivor's father, and the wife. That this triangle of relationship in the event of such, because it's sensitive with respect to the environment that it happened, the survivor, her father, and then the mother. So how do we handle such in terms of relating this information to the wife? How should this be done? Should everybody be called and then this be discussed? Should that be the case? That's one question. Then one observation I would, if it were to be me, a way to improve communication. The survivor was speaking Pidgin English. I would have, just jumped into the Pidgin English as well, just to flow with the survivor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful observation. Mira.
I think after Mira, that will be all for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes, so I have a question from the first commentator from the exercise we just finished. She was talking based off of the case manager taking charge and taking the survivor to the hospital. So from my own perspective, I feel like she should have included the survivor in picking the hospital. She made mention of, the general hospital close to her house, that her friend from her church works there, that she cannot be taken there. But I feel like they should have still let the survivor express where she would have loved to go to, because you cannot just take charge of somebody's case without carrying the survivor along. So that's my own point of view from the exercise. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for your responses. I appreciate the actors, Harriet and Sarah. You did well. Yes, we are all here to learn, and that's what we are doing. Thank you for what you have done so far. Like someone mentioned, the caseworker was calm. Your voice was calm and soothing, and that was very, very good. So, someone mentioned hospital burden. You see why I said that your step one is very, very important. In step one, the person has already told you the case is about a rape case. So in that step one, that's when you would have mentioned to the survivor that in such cases, there is need for medical services where they would take where they will examine her vaginally, because there are situations that you will take a survivor to a hospital, and when they say you are going to lie down, remove your pants, and the survivor will like, what is this? So from the first instance, that first engagement, you would have told the survivor that she'll be taken to a medical service. And by the court of law, you are supposed to go to a federal hospital, a government-owned hospital, that if not, her whatever report she has, medical report she has, might not be accepted. So the survivor need that information in your first engagement. So in assessment now, just to validate what you have already told her, you will not tell her, like I told you earlier, because of this your case, we are going to, and this is the hospital we are partnering with, the government hospital we are partnering with. That's where they will take your sample, that's where they will give you these medical services. So on that one, the survivor doesn't really have a choice, because that is the approved hospital. It is when it comes to maybe the second scenario where the woman was battered, that she needs medical attention. Even at that, if the woman wants to be selective, you would have told her in your first engagement, we partner with hospital A, hospital B, hospital C. So it means that if she's making her choices, she's making her choices between hospital A, B, C. Any choice she makes outside hospital A, B, C, it means that she's ready to pay, because the hospital that are providing pro bono for you are the ones you have listed out for her already. So that's where it comes in. I like the person that said, when the survivor is speaking using pidgin language, you should have just switched. Yes, it will make her to be more comfortable, and you will relate better. In fact, if the survivor chose to sit on the floor while she's in your office, please leave that your executive chair, sit on the floor, and face her to be on the same level. It's very important. Then when the survivor was just saying, I just tire, the caseworker was like, at that point, she's confused. You need to, like, that is where that psychosocial support comes in. You tired about what? Let her be specific about what she's tired about, because that's what will help her. When you tell her what she's tired about, it will help her now to say more things about her situation. Please, let's not make promises. When she said going to the hospital, you say, no, hospital is not the problem. Money is not going to be the problem. Money is going to be a problem. That is the truth. What if you are self-funded? Apart from that, once you mention money is not going to be a problem, you have also opened another mindset for survival. Oh, all my needs are going to be met in this place. So are you getting it? You have indirectly made a promise to her. So you are not supposed to do that. In fact, she's not even supposed to tell you that she doesn't have money to go to the hospital. If you have already told her in your step 1 that you are partnering with a hospital that will provide medical services for her. You see, that's why we always talk about step 1. Your step 1 is key, very key. The information you provide in step 1 guides the assessment. Because at that point, she already have information about where she's going to receive medical service. She already have information whether she's going to the police or not. She already have information whether she's going to court or not. So at that point, it's not in assessment that she would get that information. It's in step 1. Then when you are doing safety plan, don't put words in her mouth. The caseworker was saying, do you have a brother or a sister? No. You don't put words in her mouth or the survivor's mouth, lips, on her lips. What you do is you ask her, okay, outside your home, where else do you feel safe that you can sleep over before these issues will be resolved? Let her now be the one to think. She will give you, okay, my friend, my this, my that, my that. Don't put words in her mouth. Let her be the one in the thinking. What you are there to do is support. You are supporting her. So even if you are planning to make her safe, she should be part of the plan. She will be the one to provide exactly where she feels safe, that she can stay while the case is being handled. So I think that is that for now, except we are okay. I'm seeing it up. Remember, we have not taken the step 3. Okay, Daniel, do we give 1 or 2 opportunities?
Yes, please. I think it would be great to have everyone share and ask as much question so that we can get actionable insights from the training as opposed to just taking a marathon training. Yes, I understand the need for time too.
Okay. So let's have 1 or 2 persons.
All right. Birthday Sedo, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
afternoon.
I wish to thank everyone present here, particularly the facilitator, for the wonderful session so far. I want to say I've learned already so much from all she has said and the responses and observations people have put up from the little acting we've done so far. I just wanted to briefly remind her that yesterday I told her about a case and she promised to discuss it today. I just want to remind her so that she doesn't forget. It's actually something I'm handling at the moment, and it will be of great help to me if she would discuss it a little. Thank you.
All right. I'll maybe after the next person we'll talk about that.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you. Daniel, any other person?
Yes, Habakkuk, please go ahead.
Okay, what the was again? Having commended the feedback from your facilitator, very wonderful one. But I would also want to ask, in a situation where the survivor say that I'm not going any other place except here, I'm in your own hand. What should one do as a case worker?
Sorry?
In terms of safety. In terms of safety.
Safety. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why this training is for people that are already working around GBV. If you are working around GBV as an organization, you are supposed to know organizations that provide shelter. You're supposed to know organizations that provide legal services on pro bono. You're supposed to know health centers that provide pro bono services for GBV cases. You're supposed to know all these things so that when the person calls and say, I don't feel safe any other place, you are not supposed, as a GBV case worker, you are not supposed to house a survivor. You are not supposed, please, self-care is very important. So that is why you need to know all the people, all the organizations that are providing these services. So when she comes and says she doesn't, in fact, from your engagement, let me go back again, your introduction and engagement, you should have told her or him at that first instance that there is also organizations that provide free shelter for the people that pass through this kind of your situation. In case they don't feel safe, there's a place that is government approved that they can stay. So in assessment, you don't even need more information on that. The only thing you need now is her consent, whether she wants to go there or not. So if she said, I want to go there, it's based on your engagement. So it should not come up in assessment. So, but I am feeling that maybe why you ask the question is whether you can house the survivor. No. Capital, no. Because you will harm yourself legally and otherwise. So I think, I don't know if I answered your question, Mr. Habakkuk.
Beautiful. It's a good one. You could give good answer. What we're learning, for other persons that have such a question, they will ask that.
All right. Thank you very much. So, Daniel, can I go on now? Hello, Daniel, I can't hear you. You are still muted.
Sorry. Yes, please. I'm sharing the slide now. With due permission from all participants, I know we've already have a short time, and thanks for being here with us today.
Okay. Before we enter this, is it Sedo? Let me quickly say this. Let me give you a scenario. Then from there, you can pick one or two things.
Okay, ma.
There is a case of a lady, a girl, a lady that was raped when she was a girl. She was raped by her father's brother, her father's friend, when she was about 12 years old. And then she did not mention it to anybody. So the man abused her like more than 3-4 times. So later on, there was a time she now like made it, threatened him that she was going to tell her father and the rest of that. And of course, he threatened her back because she was a little girl. So she kept that issue till when she was 24. Remember, she was 12, that's 12, 13, and she's 24. That is more than 10 years after. So she wanted justice. She has not mentioned it to anybody. She wanted justice. So what she did was, remember, she's 24, because each time she sees him with the father, it like re-traumatizes her. And of course, you know what such perpetrators can do. You will be giving her eye, you know, those kind of a thing. I've had you, and you know, stuff. So it keeps on re-traumatizing her. She really wanted justice. So what she did was to voluntarily go to his house, or rather engage him in a discussion, and ask him why was he doing that to her that time. She recorded it without his knowledge. She recorded, in fact, she, just like what we are saying, facilitating disclosure. She kept pushing him until he he disclosed everything he did to her, why he did it to her, and was pleading with her, do not tell your father. On her own, she went to the police station. On her own, she got justice. That is after 10 good years. So what am I saying? Such cases that sometimes we think can be thrown away because of some things can still, justice can still be served. But the most important issue here is whether the survivor is interested in the justice. Remember, this one, she took it upon herself. So this person you are talking about, I don't know if he's a minor. If he's a minor, and maybe
she's a minor.
He's a minor.
She's only 13, ma.
Okay, so it's the mother that is pushing for justice, right?
Yes, ma.
Something
Yes, ma.
can still be done. But that thing that can be done now needs, one, diplomacy. Number two, you need to act as if you have silenced the case.
Okay,
as if
ma.
people are no longer interested in moving. It's something you plan with the mother and people involved. As if you are no longer interested in the case, and get the mother or somebody close to him, record the discussion that they are going to have around that issue, where he will make the confession of how he molested the girl. Once you have that, that's
Okay,
all.
ma.
And then that is where now activism comes in. You know, I was saying there's a difference between GBV case management and activism. You get what I mean now? And in activism, you don't do it alone. In activism, you need coalitions. You need organizations that work around GBV in your state or around the area where you are, so that when you have gotten, when the mother or other persons have been able to get that confession, and you have now lodged in the complaint and they have arrested him. By that time, you have done your underground work. You have brought in organizations or person activists that are ready to push the case. At that point, as people are storming the police station, everybody is storming the police station, they will now know the man. In fact, he won't deny anything, and the police will not push it under the carpet. So these are the things that can be done. Like I said, it needs diplomacy, it needs wisdom. You need to like pretend as if people are not doing anything when actually you are doing something. So I don't know if I have
you have really solved my problem, ma. Thank you so much, ma.
All right, so thank you.
The information is useful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So can we still, oh my God, Daniel, it's 3 o'clock already.
All right. Yes, it is. And I'm wondering what you're wondering too, if we can still go another hour on the next step. So I think that I'm unable to hear you clearly.
What do you call it? Recap.
Yeah.
Yes, we take it because you take